The Auditor-General provides assurance to Parliament on the accountability and performance of the Victorian public sector. The Auditor-General conducts financial audits and performance audits and reports on the results of these audits to Parliament. On the 9th of March 2016, the Auditor-General tabled his Performance Audit Report, Digital Dashboard, Status Review of ICT Projects and Initiatives Phase 2. Phase 1 was tabled in April 2015. Information and Communications Technology, or ICT, has become and continues to be key in the delivery of government services. It responds to Victoria's growing expectations for faster, more reliable and more efficient service delivery. Unfortunately, as we found in Phase 1 of this report, the Victorian public sector does not have a good track record with ICT projects. And as confirmed again in this audit, weaknesses in planning and implementation mean that these investments often do not meet functionality expectations nor demonstrate expected outcomes, cost much more than the planned budget and/or are delivered much later than planned, are cancelled prior to completion while still incurring significant costs. With ICT having become really critical in service delivery, government agencies and entities have no choice but to start doing it better. The increasing reliance on ICT has led to a large number of ICT projects in both government and private organisations across Australia and overseas. In Victoria, Digital Dashboard Phase 1 found that the average spend per year is $3 billion. Many of these ICT projects attract significant attention due to their failure to deliver as intended, and also because of extensive cost and time overruns. Digital Dashboard Phase 1 showed that nearly 35% of ICT projects went over budget and nearly half were delayed. This is not unique for Victoria. Figures for 2015 show that 19% of ICT projects of American companies, both private and government, were cancelled before completion or were delivered but never used, while 52% were delivered over time, over budget and/or with less functionality than initially planned. The audit examined 6 ICT projects of City West Water, the Department of Justice and Regulation, the University of Melbourne, the Victorian Commission for Gambling and Liquor Regulation, WorkSafe Victoria, and Yarra Valley Water. These were examined to assess governance effectiveness and benefits realisation. These ICT projects were chosen from those reported in Digital Dashboard Phase 1. The criteria used for the selection included cost, scope and impact of the project, as well as extent of delay and/or deviation from initial project approvals. Of the 6 projects examined, only Yarra Valley Waters finished on schedule. None of the 6 was completed or will be completed as initially budgeted. One project, the Department of Justice and Regulation's Infringement Management System, was terminated when the department determined that the vendor could no longer deliver the project. This was 6 years after the planned completion date. At nearly $60 million, the project cost over twice the intended budget with no result. Some better practice elements were observed at the University of Melbourne and Yarra Valley Water, including clearly articulated business requirements, appropriately skilled project managers and IT personnel, tenacious monitoring of the vendor's progress, and commitment to comprehensively test the system prior to project rollout. Although, by themselves, clearly defined governance arrangements do not guarantee a successful ICT project, agencies should work on developing a robust culture of active governance, particularly at the senior management level, to make informed decisions and effectively engage with vendors. All 6 agencies had defined and formalised governance arrangements in place. However, these arrangements did not prevent other project management weaknesses from adversely affecting the projects. There should be increased focus on benefits realisation. Of the 3 completed projects, the University of Melbourne does not have a benefits realisation plan to allow it to monitor and report on the achievement of intended benefits. In addition to efficient project delivery, agencies should work hard on developing a culture of accountability on benefits realisation for their investments. Victorian government agencies and entities have little choice but to lift their game when it comes to ICT projects. Ultimately, it is the responsibility of the executive leadership of all agencies and entities to ensure that the appropriate behaviours and skill sets are in place for the planning and delivery of ICT projects. There is also opportunity to learn from the experience of other similarly situated agencies to better plan and implement effective ICT projects. Agencies and entities would greatly benefit from revisiting and applying lessons learned by others in the planning and implementation of their ICT projects. VARGO's July 2008 Investing Smarter in Public Sector ICT Better Practice Guide continues to be sound and relevant and may be used as a starting point for doing ICT projects better. We made 5 recommendations for this audit. The first one refers to the use of VARGO's Investing Smarter in Public Sector ICT to guide the planning and delivery of ICT projects. The second, third and fourth refer to planning for total project costs, ensuring appropriate governance arrangements are in place, and focusing on benefits realisation from project inception. And the fifth refers to the regular, accurate and reliable reporting on project status, including costs, timelines and key decisions. All recommendations were accepted by the 6 agencies. They have outlined how they intend to address each recommendation and by when. This is contained in Appendix A of the report. We encourage all agencies across the Victorian public sector to abide by these recommendations. The Auditor-General will monitor this progress over time. In summary, we found that government agencies and entities need to better plan and implement ICT projects. To overcome challenges, agencies should proactively develop their capabilities as an informed and vigilant buyer of ICT products and services. The focus on benefits realisation should be embedded in project planning and delivery. Agencies should create an environment of accountability relative to their ICT investments. There is available guidance documentation on ICT projects' better practice elements. These and learnings from past ICT projects could and should be better shared and applied across government. At this time in history, when ICT is front and centre in information management and service delivery, agencies and entities need to lift their game where ICT projects are concerned. Relevant audits and guides are listed on this slide. All our reports are available on our website. If you have any questions about this or other reports, or if you have anything else you would like to discuss with us, including ideas for future audit topics, please call us on 03 8601 7000 or contact us via our website.